Have you ever heard the story of the Nephilim? In the ancient book of Genesis, right before the Great Flood, a mysterious passage describes giants walking the earth. Genesis 6:4. Sidin Salandi. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. Who were these giants, and where did they come from? The text mentions sons of God and daughters of humans. This has sparked centuries of debate. One popular theory suggests that the sons of God were fallen angels who came down to earth and had children with human women. Their offspring, the Nephilim, were a hybrid race of powerful giants. This idea is supported by non-biblical texts like the Book of Enoch, which goes into great detail about these celestial beings and their giant offspring who wreaked havoc on the earth. Another interpretation sees the sons of God as righteous men from the godly lineage of Seth, Adam's third son. In this view, they began marrying women from the ungodly line of Cain. Their children, the Nephilim, weren't necessarily supernatural half-breeds, but were powerful, corrupt leaders or tyrants whose wickedness contributed to God's decision to send the flood. The word Nephilim itself comes from the Hebrew root naphal, which means to fall. This could mean they were fallen ones in a moral sense, or it could simply refer to their imposing stature, causing others to fall down in fear. Interestingly, the Nephilim seem to reappear much later in the Bible. When the Israelite spies scout out the land of Canaan, they return with a terrifying report. In Numbers 13, they claim to have seen the Nephilim there, specifically the descendants of Anak. They said, "We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them." This report struck such fear into the hearts of the Israelites that they refused to enter the Promised Land, leading to 40 years of wandering in the desert. So were these the same pre-flood Nephilim? Or was the name simply used to describe any group of exceptionally large and fearsome people? The text says the Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, which opens the door to the possibility that some survived the flood, or that the phenomenon occurred again. Perhaps Noah's son Ham or his wife carried the genetic trait. Or maybe the spies were just exaggerating out of fear, using the legendary name Nephilim to describe the intimidating warriors they encountered. The mystery also connects to other giant figures in the Bible, like Og, the king of Bashan, whose bed was over 13 feet long. And of course, there's Goliath, the Philistine champion defeated by David, who stood over 9 feet tall. Were these individuals descendants of the original Nephilim, part of a lingering giant clan in the ancient world? These stories of giants aren't just footnotes. They often represent the overwhelming obstacles that God's people had to face. David's victory over Goliath is a classic example of faith overcoming impossible odds. Modern theories about the Nephilim are just as fascinating. Some have tried to link them to ancient mythologies from around the world, from the Greek Titans to the Norse giants, suggesting a shared memory of a powerful, non-human race. Others speculate about ancient alien visitations, interpreting the sons of God as extraterrestrials. While these ideas are exciting, the biblical text itself points to a spiritual reality, a world where the lines between heaven and earth were blurred, leading to corruption so deep that it required a divine reset. So, what can we take away from the story of the Nephilim? It serves as a powerful cautionary tale about the dangers of forbidden unions and spiritual compromise. It highlights the profound corruption that preceded the Great Flood and explains the severity of God's judgment. It also reminds us that even when we face giants in our own lives, problems that seem impossibly large and intimidating, faith in God can give us the strength to overcome them. just as David did. The story of the Nephilim remains one of the Bible's most enigmatic and debated topics. Were they fallen angels, powerful tyrants, or something else entirely? The text gives us just enough to be intrigued, leaving us to wonder about these mysterious giants who once walked the earth. What do you think? Let me know your theories about the Nephilim in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into a biblical mystery, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching. The Nephilim remain one of the Bible's most fascinating and debated topics. They force us to grapple with difficult questions about good, evil, and the nature of reality itself. Were they hybrid beings, a product of a celestial fall? Or were they simply powerful humans whose pride led to their downfall? The mystery continues to capture our imagination, a haunting echo from a world before the flood. What do you think? Were the Nephilim the offspring of angels or just men? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the Bible's mysteries. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.